Hello everybody, I'm Razorblade Mango, and I am here today because it is 2015! Woo! The new year is finally upon us, and finally I can say goodbye to 2014. Well, I already have, and I'm happy to do it, because that year kind of sucked. Especially if you were a gamer, it really just was terrible. It was just, oh god, I hope that year never repeats itself again, and I'm really hoping 2015 is better. So, why am I here? Well, not just because it's 2015, but because it's time to talk about the best and the worst of 2014. So I'm going to start out with the best, because I feel like being positive today. And even though it was a pretty shitty year, there were some bright spots to this rather bad year. And yeah, that's the list for today. It's my top 10 games of 2014. Here we go. My number 10 choice is Supergiant Games' Transistor. And this is from the company whose first game was Bastion, a game that I never actually have had a chance to play yet, and after this, I'm actually really looking forward to it. Transistor, it's about this woman who loses her voice after a sword is plunged right into one of her, I think, her lovers, and takes away her voice in the process. So now she has to go and get revenge on the people that tried to have her killed, and with the power of this brutally amazing sword. So the thing about Transistor that I have to stress is how gorgeous it is. And I'm not just talking about the art style, which it is. I'm talking about like the atmosphere. I'm talking about all the little details. I'm talking about the music, especially by Darren Korb. All of that is all that comes together to form this really unique atmospheric vision. And so few games can actually pull this off, especially like AAA games. Most of them do not come together to form something like a new type of vision. Where a lot of like AAA games like cannibalize off each other, steal elements from each other. This game creates something wholly unique, and I automatically just like really found myself getting into it. I rarely ever buy indie titles when they first come out, only because I know they're going to go down in price sooner or later. But this is one of those games that day one I had to have, because what I had seen, I was just completely floored by it, and I was not disappointed by the look of the game, the sounds of the game, the little details, like you can have your character hum to the background music at many points in the game at any time you want, which I think is awesome. My one gripe with the game, though, is the combat. I like the combat quite a bit. I just don't think it's as great as everything else in the game. It kind of hinders the game a little bit for me, but I can easily look over that when the rest of the game is just so fucking beautiful and so gorgeous. And it's really, guys, if you haven't listened to the soundtrack yet, especially, it's available for free to listen to on YouTube. Just go listen to it. It's incredible. It's almost my soundtrack of the year. Yeah, if Destiny hadn't come out, this would be my soundtrack of the year. It's great. So yeah, it's available on PS4. That's what I played it on. Available on PC. I think it's available on Mac now. I don't know when it's going to be available on Xbox One. I'm assuming it's going to be at some point, because it's not. This is not a PS4 exclusive. It's a timed exclusive for them. So we'll see. I don't know. Check it out, guys. This game is awesome. Number 9 is my pick for the most underrated, undersold game of 2013. is Sherlock Holmes: Crimes and Punishments. This is, I believe, the second title from, maybe second or third title from Frogwares concerning the Great Detective. And I think like a lot of people really did not care about this. One, because the campaign, the marketing for it was not particularly strong, and the demos, I guess, would not really appeal to a lot of people that don't really like these murder mysteries, investigative stuff. But when I saw what they were offering, I really liked it. I thought it looked really fun, and you actually were able to get like $10 off the game when it first came out, which actually fueled my skepticism towards it, because that's never a good sign when you're just willy-nilly given a discount for a game that you know is going to sell badly. So that never really that does not show a company placing confidence in its product. But I must admit, this game is really fun. If you haven't played it, you need to check it out. And I'm actually kind of mad at a lot of people because they went out and bought the latest Call of Duty, which is the same shit over and over again. They bought Assassin's Creed Unity, again, same fucking thing. And they bought like Watch Dogs, which was, I'll talk about that in a different video. And made those games successes. And then you have a small little game with a really cool idea and pulls its elements together in a really good way, and it's just completely ignored. So this game really shows what the industry is like now. We're afraid to take chances, we're afraid to try new things, and we just keep eating up the same shit over and over and over again, and regurgitating it, and then eating it over and over and over again. It's just depressing. So what's good about Crimes and Punishments? Well, first of all, probably the most unique feature of the game is this intuition system, where you have to like find all these specific clues in an area, and then you actually go into the mind of Sherlock Holmes, and you have to arrange them in a certain way where it would make sense for a certain crime. And you can't actually proceed with your objectives unless you go into this menu and start like literally piecing the clues together to form different theories, different ideas of what's going on. Some of the cases are very predictable, and unless you're stupid, you're not going to get them wrong. But towards the end, especially, there was just some cases that one in particular that I was really stumped on. One lengthy one that I was pretty stumped on. And that's another cool thing about the game. It's long. And I don't mean long in like a really boring, like hurry the fuck up, get this shit over with kind of way. Like it's paced really well, and it actually feels like I'm working towards a solution. It's not like the game is just like spoon feeding me. Oh, it does that in the first case because you need to. It's kind of like a tutorial. Back to the intuition system. The intuition system is really cool. I hope more games do it. I hope a lot of games. I wish a lot of more detective games will steal this idea, because it's really awesome and it actually makes you feel like you are Sherlock Holmes. Even like during like L.A. Noire, as much as I really like that game, I never felt like I was getting inside the mind of this detective, of Cole Phelps. I never really felt like I was in his mind, and I was like piecing together all the evidence. It was kind of like you just had to go to your notebook and figure it out for yourself. This game, it actually makes you feel like the character, which is quite rare, because most Sherlock Holmes games, they just kind of have you go, especially like the text adventure ones, they just have you sit down, like L.A. Noire, just look at your notebook, piece them together, voila, you do some experience, voila, you got the case. No, this game takes a different approach and actually comes out better for it. Sure, there are problems with the game, like a lot of the mini games are not all that good. The character animation is not all that great. But I must say, the way some of these levels are designed is awesome. I especially loved the train segment of the game. There's, I think it's like the second or third case where you have to discover like what happened to a missing train that apparently vanishes right before your eyes. So and they recreate like an old-fashioned train station, a few of them actually, and the art design looks great. And I just couldn't help but like stop and stare and look at my surroundings and just soak up the environment of like this old-fashioned train station. And I've always liked trains as a kid, so that was really cool to see someone do justice to like a location that was so simple yet has such like beauty and an old world simplicity. So it was really neat. So anyway, I don't know how much it is now, but if you want to try something cool, if you actually want to play like a genuinely cool game this year, my pick for the most underappreciated thing of the year definitely goes to Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. You guys really need to check it out, especially if you're a fan of detective stories, if you're a fan of these like not exactly point and click, but a fan of these like more investigative stuff, more slow paced kind of stuff. This is your game because it's one of the better examples of it out there. Number 8 is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. And I never in my wildest dreams expected that this was going to be on this list, let alone that I would play it. Because back when I was like riding high on all the hate towards Microsoft and all that, this game was shown at their E3 conference back in 2013, and I just completely took a dump on it. I just was like, fuck this game. This game looks like shit. It's like a low idea. Fuck you. It's never going to work. They're just ripping off Call of Duty, but for tykes, no. Fuck you. Sorry, EA. No. And I never played it. Even when it was available for the PS4 or PS3, never picked it up, never had any desire to. But when it was available for free during the PlayStation experience, which was actually a really cool little thing, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. There's just, it's free. I might as well give it a shot. I really have nothing to lose besides like, a few hours of my time. And this game is so much fun. I have to eat a big bowl of crow. I gotta take back my words. These guys, PopCap Games and EA, have proven me wrong. And to tell you the truth, I like being wrong. Especially, I like being wrong in this situation when it's something that completely surpasses my expectations and turns out to be a really fun and genuinely addicting game. This is one of those games that I play quite a bit with my friends because it's just so much fun. And it actually, I think unlike Call of Duty, what really puts me off about Call of Duty is that there's just so much negativity and so much, just this game for some reason spawns so many assholes. I just don't like going online, and I'm not really an online gaming person. But this game, I actually don't mind going on to the multiplayer for this game and playing it, because that's almost all it is. And, there's a lot of really cool, segments in there. My favorite one especially is Gardens and Graveyards, which gets insane after a while. I mean, it just goes crazy trying to defend these things. And one of my friends put it best when he said it's like a Plants and Zombies version of Saving Private Ryan, where it just goes insane. It's so much chaos around you. People are just getting blown away left and right. I mean, it is just, whoo! It is fun. It is really fun. And if you have a lot of people to play with, by all means, you have to play this game. And if you downloaded it when it was for free from PlayStation Experience, you made a very wise decision, because this game kicks ass. And I actually really like there's the graphics for it are really good. There's the there's these packs that you can download for not for free, but sometimes they give you like these card packs that give you like new items, new abilities, new characters even. And this is actually one of those games, because I got it for free, and everyone, like, I especially don't like microtransactions in full price games, but this was actually a budget title. I think it was like $40-50 when it came out, and now that I got it for free, I actually didn't mind spending some, like, real currency on, like, the cards, because I was actually really into the game and I wanted more. And it was reasonably priced, and I just was like, hey, why the fuck not? I have a little chunk of change to spend from my PlayStation wallet. Go for it. Go spend. I will spend my money. Totally fine with me. And this is one of those few games out there on the PS4 that runs at 60 frames per second, and it looks fantastic. It's smooth as butter. And the combat is really fun. The shooting is great. My side I would recommend you guys play the zombie side more than the plant side, because zombies are kind of overpowered a little bit in this game, but it's just such a fun game. And there's just very few games out there that I can actually go back to and play over and over again, like a lot with my friends, and this is one of them. I just really enjoy this game, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I highly recommend it to you guys out there. If you're getting a PS4 this holiday season, pick up Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. If you have an Xbox One, pick that up. If you have a PC, pick it up. It's a really fun game. You should definitely give it a shot, because even if you had like this really negative attitude towards it, which I don't blame you, I was there and it looked like crap. This game, one of the biggest surprises of 2014, and I really hope like PopCap Games, I think what they're called. I hope they go on to develop even better things, because this is a great point for them in their career. Number 7 is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. And I've seen this game be like a lot of people's game of the year. A lot of people really high on the top 10 lists. And I just have to address why it's lower, because I know I'm going to get some questions about that. I think the last third of the game really cops out. I think it's designed to sell DLC. It's sequel baiting, which I don't appreciate at all. And the sad part is, I think this game earns a sequel, just within its own right, because of all the effort that went into it. But I just feel like it was unnecessary to add like that ending where it's like, oh, here we're just asking for a sequel if this game isn't successful. Please make a sequel for this game, because people are gonna want to play this. And I feel like they cut, like, the final boss isn't even a battle. It's just a quick time event, and it's super lame, and it just so cheap, and it cops out, especially when they're building up towards this thing throughout the whole fucking game. It's dumb. The last third of this game is just dumb. That being said, you know how I said that the industry cannibalizes itself a lot, where we get the same shit over and over again? This is one of those very rare cases where a game steals ideas, straight up, like, lifts ideas from other games, but uses it to its advantage. This game, like I told a lot of people, this is the stealth mechanics of Assassin's Creed mixed in with the combat of the Batman Arkham series, and it has the enemy tagging of Far Cry 3. Interwoven together around this backbone, this groundwork of this new next generation thing called the Nemesis system. And if you don't know what it is by now, I'll explain in small details. Basically, any enemy that you encounter can potentially have a deeper relationship with you. Since your character technically can't die in the game, if you get killed by a grunt, he'll be given a rank, he'll be given a dynamic name, he'll be given a new enemy look, and these enemies will continue to evolve. Especially if you die, they will get more power and respect for killing you, and eventually they can become war chiefs. And another thing you can do is you can actually manipulate the hierarchy of orcs, which is really cool. My personal favorite thing to do is gather like a gang of orcs, tell one of the chiefs to go assassinate this guy, do a public execution on this guy that's been fucking killing you for the for the past 3 times. And it is so satisfying to see one of your minions do your dirty work with you and just cut this fucker's head off or just implode, just impale his face in. And it sounds sadistic, but when you play the game like I have, and you know what I'm talking about when I say that the combat and the killing in this game is really tricky, and you need to plan it, and you can sometimes die quite a bit from poor planning. And to see your enemy that you've been hunting for the past, I don't know how many hours, finally meet his end at the hand of either someone at like one of your minions' blade or your blade, it is so satisfying. There is not a greater feeling than seeing your a big success on your part. And I think this game deserves a sequel. And it's actually it's a really fun game. And actually one of the very few games I would actually feel comfortable calling next gen. Like, it feels like a next generation game. Destiny, no. Watch Dogs, no. Assassin's Creed Unity, no. This game, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, a resounding yes. This is a next generation game. And this is a game that actually does justice to the Tolkien lore. And unlike those goddamn Grimoire cards for Destiny, you do not have to leave Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor in order to understand the lore, in order to understand what's going on, because they have appendices for you that you can unlock in the actual game. It doesn't tell you to go to monolithgames.com to find out more about the lore of this game. And no, but bad, shame on you, Destiny. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor does that complete justice, does that right. And it's hard. It's a hard game. But like the developers have said, if they had made it easy to where you could mow down a bunch of orcs in a matter of seconds, it would defeat the purpose of having a nemesis system, because you feel vulnerable. You have to be strategic. You have to plan your attacks. You have to read up on your enemy. You have to know more about them in order to go, especially with the war chiefs. You can't just jump into a fight with the war chiefs and expect to win easily. No, those fuckers are tough, especially when they are on the final, when they reach up to level 20. Good luck with that. One hit, you're dead. So, yeah, you better read up on your enemies before you go into battle. And, man, I just really like this game. And actually, it's one of the few games that was critically acclaimed and sold well that I think deserves a lot of the hype behind it. Where there was so much hype about this nemesis system. That's the thing that they were pushing the most. And after getting burned once or twice this year by crap, I was like, man, I'm really skeptical about this. I even bought, I think Crimes and Punishments came out on the exact same day as Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. And I bought Crimes and Punishments over Shadow of Mordor. And I don't regret that, but I wish I'd bought that as well, because this game is fucking kick-ass. It's like such a fun game, and it doesn't have a tacked-on multiplayer mode, doesn't encourage microtransactions. It's there for your single-player enjoyment. If you don't have internet, fine. That's totally fine. You can play this game and have a total fucking blast. You will not regret purchasing this game. It's one of the few games this year that's actually a great sign of what's to come from this next generation of hardware. And I'm really looking for, I hope more games steal this nemesis system from Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. More game series, especially like Assassin's Creed, need a giant kick up the ass in regards to gameplay. And taking this mechanic, this nemesis system, could really do wonders to a lot of series out there. Number 6 is PT. And this is a game, I know a lot of people are going to go, but it's a demo. A demo doesn't belong on a top 10 list of 2014 or any other year. Okay, fair enough. But let me explain why I think PT surpasses its reputation, or maybe label. Label is a better word, as a demo. Gaming is all about experiences, right? Gaming is all about experiences that take you out of your usual life and put you in a place that you cannot possibly go in any other place. Or maybe you want to live vicariously through somebody, and you just want to be in a completely different head zone, completely different reality, just somewhere away from your regular life. And I think the reason why I love PT so much is that this is one of the most unbelievably absorbing games ever. And there is so much love and care put into this one area, this hallway that you continuously loop through. And even on the first loop, there's so many little details in the background. There's stuff that you can look at. There's dents and cracks in the walls. There's even the fact that when the camera moves, the eyes will actually refocus. It will go blurry for a second while you're moving and refocus. That is a cool little detail. And it goes without saying, this game is marketing genius. It's like the platinum standard for marketing. How else? This is going to be the future of gaming. These interactive teasers, and this is I could not have cared less if they had announced a new Silent Hill game, just the plain old regular way. But doing it like this, especially when it was finally revealed that Kojima and Del Toro were behind it. Holy shit, I am so pumped for Silent Hills, more than any other horror game I've been excited for the past 10 years maybe. I'm so pumped for this, because really we haven't seen a lot of good survival horror. I mean, I never played Alien Isolation, to be fair. I really did not like Evil Within. I'll talk about that in another video. But I'm dying for some survival horror here. And really, I think PT ruined me. PT is so goddamn scary that I really don't find any other survival horror, terrifying. And this appeals more to me, where I eventually, if the gameplay is not good, I eventually get tired of it being of the horror being so in your face and gory and just way too much focus on the monsters and all that. What I love about PT is that you are completely defenseless and you have to take it. It's all in first person and you have to take everything that Kojima's throwing at you. You gotta take the multiple appearances of ghosts. You gotta take that fucking creepy baby in the sink. You gotta take that fucking all those cockroaches on the wall. You gotta take a lot of creepy shit, head on. And I love that shit. I would give anything to go back and play this game again for the very first time, when I had no idea what this thing was going to be. I mean, I knew it was going to be some kind of horror thing when it was first announced at Gamescom, and I was like, oh my god, what is I saw the trailer, like a lot of us, I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, I was like, what the fuck is this? So I just downloaded it, and I was playing with a friend, and it was fucking terrifying. Right away, this thing is makes you so on edge, and it's so nerve-wracking, and it's so scary. Just not even from a jump scare level, which there are those few jump scares that actually are effective. It's the atmosphere of it, the environment is so creepy. The sound design just drives me up the fucking wall, in a good way. It's terrifying. And I think it's a testament to the game's effectiveness that I don't want to play it again, and yet I still keep it on my PlayStation 4 hard drive. Why is that? Because the game is a masterpiece of pure, visceral horror You will never find another game that condenses it into such pure, just uneasiness and anxiety and fright as PT does so masterfully. They made it look so easy. And horror is not an easy genre to do. But they made it, like, it looks so easy. And I'm pretty sure they worked their asses off trying to get the timing right on all of this, trying to get the graphics look incredible. And I've heard this was like a downgrade of the Fox engine, which, if this is a downgrade, oh my god, I cannot wait to see what it could look like on an all next-gen experience. Just, holy shit. And just everything about this game. Now, I will grant you, everyone that complains about the ending, I do feel like because it is so brutally difficult, that it does lose its atmosphere towards the end. But I'm going to say this. If it didn't kind of like lose steam towards the end, this could have been my game of the year. Like, if it had kept that momentum of the first 30 minutes up until like the entire thing, this would have been my game of the year. It easily, hands down, would have been my game of the year. It is just, I've never played anything like this, and it is so fucking awesome to see someone like Kojima take a huge risk like this, like putting this out there, and it's a hit. It's an enormous hit, and if Silent Hills is even like as good as PT is, this could be like the greatest survival horror game ever. I'm not joking. Oh my god, I'm so pumped for this game. And that's why I think this surpasses its label of being a demo. And I feel like within its own right, as a one-of-a-kind experience, deserves this spot on this list. Definitely PT. Even in a better year, this would have been on the list. Because it's just that effective. It's so memorable that it is. It's one of the most memorable games of the year. And that's... I don't want to say, I feel like I'm talking shit of the game by saying, a demo, like, a year is so bad that a demo makes it on the top 10 list, but I'm not going to say that, and I don't really mean it, because PT is an experience, is a one-of-a-kind gaming experience, and that's what I play video games for things like PT. So, hats off to Kojima and Gotoro for surprising the world with this, because I was one of the many people that freaked out when they found out that it was a Silent Hill game. Imagine the possibilities of what Kojima could do with a Silent Hill game. I can't fucking wait. Number 5 is South Park, The Stick of Truth. This could have been a fucking disaster. This could have been like another situation where all like the setbacks and the management shift could have easily turned this into just a disaster. But it isn't. It's one of the best games of 2014 and easily the funniest game of 2014. And I think it's a huge compliment that even if you stripped away the South Park tone and all the elements to it, if it's just an original IP, this game would still be a blast to play gameplay-wise, because they nailed the RPG feel. And the combat is surprisingly fun. The world is detailed and interesting to explore. And even like the item system is really cool. The whole Facebook thing being like your main menu where you can like interact with all the different characters, customize your character, because there's a huge like level of detail to customizing this character. So I was really impressed that they actually managed to capture the look and feel of South Park. I mean, it's like playing through it's like playing through a trilogy of South Park episodes. Or a whole season, in fact. And it's so funny. Like I said, funniest game of 2014. It's hilarious. Not only does it it does what South Park does best. It takes rapid-fire shots at everything. Nobody is safe. The American government is safe from this game, from mockery in this game. Video game tropes are there. Kim Kardashian is even there. Lord of the Rings is made fun of. Game of Thrones especially made fun of. I mean, there's so much stuff this thing just that just pokes fun at, and yet, like, traditionally, like in South Park, it never feels mean or off-putting. It never insults you for being a game. And one of the reasons I think I really couldn't get into Sunset Overdrive all that much is because that game referenced the fact that it was a game so much that it just became obnoxious after a while. It's like, hey dude, you gotta play this fucking game. Oh, why don't you hurry up and do this shit? Hurry up, player. Why don't you fucking play this game? Why don't you fucking do this? Why don't you fucking do that? Fuck you, fucking fuck. And it got on my nerves, like, pretty quickly. But this game recognizes that it's a game, and yet never constantly reminds you over and over again, yes, we're a video game. It's like there's this subtle wink, wink, nudge, nudge that they know they're in a video game, and that this is a video game. However, they do it so subtly that it feels more like a background joke than like a forefront, in-your-face kind of thing, and it allows you to like get involved with the story. It allows you to get involved with the characters. It actually lets you get involved with your character, because you're basically your character in the game. He doesn't talk. So there's a lot of that. And the graphics, I mean, while I feel like it could have been better if they had switched it over to like the next gen consoles, it looks great. The art style is great. There are like slight hitches in the frame rate here and there, but you know what? It's still like a really fun experience, and one of those games that I will look fondly back on, even though this year, I really wish I could forget this year because it was fucking awful. This is one of those games that started out like really raising my hopes as to what the year was going to be like. I was so impressed by this game, and I think big credit goes to Ubisoft. I mean, for a lot of their fuck-ups this year, they actually managed to like steer this in the right direction. I'm glad they picked up the rights for it, so they deserve props for that. But mainly the props go to Trey Parker and Matt Stone, which I think this is the first South Park game that they've actually been involved with. And the effort shows. It really shows that it has like their stamp of approval on every minuscule aspect of the game. It is this game is awesome. You guys need to play it. It's so much fun. Especially even if you're not a fan of South Park, I'd recommend you play this game because, like I said, it's a fun game in its own right. So definitely pick up South Park. Stick of Truth. It's fucking sweet. Number 4 is Infamous Second Son. And I'm going to be honest, this is one of the Sony franchises that I've never really kept up with, like Resistance. I only barely played the first game, never got around to playing the second game. But that didn't stop me from enjoying the shit out of this game. This game is so much damn fun. It's just it makes you feel like a total badass. Depending on how you go, it makes you feel like a total badass or like an evil son of a bitch. And I think part of it has to go like with the gameplay. It's smooth, it's dynamic, it's fun, and it gives you powers that you actually want to use. Like my personal favorite, like this is like with this neon dash power where you could just endlessly run at top speed throughout the city. This is like my favorite Flash game that was never made. Like, this is the best Flash game that never was. Because it gives you the power of the Flash. It gives you the power of, where you just dash around the city. So much fun. There's so much, like, cool-ass superpowers in this game. You get to, like, fling around, like, fireballs. You get to, like, a dash with the neon, like I said. You get to fly through the air with this, like, VHS-type power, where you use, like, cable, and the Wi-Fi has, like, this energy. And it's so much fun. And the graphics are so beautiful, and if this is a sign of what's to come from the PlayStation 4, we're set, because the water effects especially look beautiful. Puddle effects are wonderful. Weather effects are amazing. The way that the neon is incredible. The neon reflects the lights. It looks so amazing, especially at night. I love, like, the character models in this game are superb. I'm kind of still on the fence about Delsin Rowe, who's voiced by Troy Baker in like one of his million performances this year. I feel like the campaign for like the good side in this game is really good. I really enjoyed it. However, the campaign for like evil Delsin is kind of dumb because it's really not all that great. It's kind of it reuses a lot of the similar cutscenes from the other side, but they don't work because it doesn't make sense on a character level. It's like there's a point where your brother is like, "Hey man, I'm really proud of you, Delsin," and that makes sense on the good side. But in the bad side, after you've killed a bunch of innocent people, you've corrupted people, you've murdered cops, it just seems so weird for his brother to go, "You know what? Good job, Delsin. I'm really proud of you." Especially when he's a cop himself. It's like, writers, come on. That does not make any sense. Besides that, this game is just a blast to play, and it made me kind of greedy. Like, when I saw this game running on, like, my TV, it made me really greedy. It made me go, wow, I want a new TV. Just so I can see this game look even better in what I want it to be. I mean, it's just, it's that beautiful of a game. It looks fantastic. And even like the side missions in this game, because this is a really easy platinum. If you're like really good at this game, it's an easy platinum. Doing like the side missions are really fun. I was actually motivated to go around and liberate all of the areas in the city. I really enjoyed the missions where there's like that final showdown in order to fully liberate a section from the enemies. And they just send like choppers after you, snipers after you, and you gotta use every power that you got to avoid it and defeat them. And it's just, it makes you feel like a badass. That's the best aspect of Infamous Second Son. It nails the feeling of being a badass. And I hope they do some sort of a sequel, because I'm really looking for the good side. I hope in like the Infamous lore that the bad side is not canon, because that would kind of piss me off. I hope the good side is canon, because I would love to see a sequel with this guy, with all the powers that he's got, the neon dash and all that. I would fucking love that. I hope Sony does it, and I hope Sucker Punch does it. I'm looking forward to Infamous Second Son 2. More badass powers, more environments to fight in, more fantastic destructibility. This is just one of the funnest games of the year, as like just a joy to play if you're into superhero stuff. Highly recommended. Number 3 is The Wolf Among Us. This game, I was familiar. I'd read quite a bit of the Fables comic books before this game even came out, so I was a little skeptical about Telltale Games handling this. And let me be clear, I think Telltale Games are geniuses. I think given they could take anything, any property, any license, and turn it into something worthwhile, at least worthwhile. And they've been experimenting as of late with like Borderlands. There's like the Minecraft game that they're doing coming out, which I'm a little like kind of raised a few eyebrows, but hey, let them do it. Let them do it. Wolf Among Us, I was really skeptical about, because it's a prequel. And if you're familiar with the Fables comic books, it's like, why make a prequel? Why, when I already know what's going to happen? I know what's going to happen with a lot of these characters. I already know the fates of most of them. So why should I give a shit? And weirdly enough, Wolf Among Us makes you care. It really makes you care. I think the biggest reason why this game succeeds so much is the writing, because the writing is so strong and interesting, and it creates like multi-layered characters that you actually get inside the minds of, and you can actually you talk to them in a variety of situations, and you understand their thoughts, their feelings, and you grow to either like them or hate them, but at least you feel something towards them. You feel some kind of connection. You feel like you're in this world. You feel like you are Big B Wolf. And that's just a great feeling. The voice acting also brings it to life. The guy that voices Bigby is superb. One of the best performances of the year. The woman who voices Snow White is excellent. Voices Beauty is excellent. Mr. Toad is great. The guy, Bloody Mary especially. And that's one of my problems. There's not enough Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary was so interesting. Such a great character to introduce. And I felt like they did not use her to her full potential. But I would say that this would be a little bit higher if the last episode didn't feel a little anticlimactic. For all the build-up it's doing throughout the episode, it kind of repeats the same beat that the first season of The Walking Dead did, where you have a character sit you down and go, hey, look, this is what you did. These are the choices that you made. And now I'm like spewing back the consequences to you. And they do the same thing in this, that they did like The Walking Dead Season 1. And that I felt like was a little, like it really did not hit me as much as like the previous episodes, which one of my favorites, like of all the things they've done, has to be the second episode where Bigby has to investigate, has to interrogate either the woodsman or Tweedledee or Tweedledum, whatever the fuck one it is, and it's just such a great episode because it makes you feel like a detective, better than most detective games do. And even though I felt like it was kind of holding your hand at some situations, because that's what it's what Telltale games does. They are a point and click. They kind of have to make it a little way too obvious to get the story going, but it's all there, and I love the design of this game too. I love the look. I love the neo-noir look. It really captures the vibe of not only the comic books, but of like detective noirs in general. Especially like the usage of purple in the opening credits really sets the mood for what this game is going to be like. And I'm really hoping Telltale does a second season of this, because they leave it on a cliffhanger that I'm kind of like, I want to know the answer. But, maybe that's the whole point of the ending, is that it's just a mystery that you will never solve. And there are millions out there like that in this world. There are going to be a ton of mysteries out there, a ton of questions that you will never in your lifetime ever get the answer to. And that's kind of what the message overall of Wolf Among Us' ending is. But even though I really didn't think the ending lived up to the build-up, the build-up is just so goddamn thrilling and incredible that there's no way this would not be on the list. It's a great game. It's a great sign of what's to come from Telltale, and they already had made a huge splash in 2014 for me. This is like, they're like my favorite team. They're my favorite developing company of 2014, and it's just they knocked it out of the park with Wolf Among Us. I'm so impressed by what they did. I loved the Game of Thrones thing that they did. I liked Tales from the Borderlands, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do in 2015 with those licenses, and then bringing in Minecraft, which again is a little strange, but, okay, I'll give it a shot. Number 2 is Far Cry 4. This game, oh my god, it actually lived up to my hype, to my own expectations. That feels like a novelty in this year, especially after the disaster that was Assassin's Creed Unity just a week before, with all their terrible like anti-consumer bullshit that went on with that game. I was terrified that Far Cry 4 was going to fall into the same trap. I was dreading like picking up this game and going, oh fuck. And they really fucked it up, and oh man, I was like, oh my god, please don't suck, because it was like, besides Kingdom Hearts 2.5, it was like the big thing that I was looking forward to this fall. I really didn't care about Call of Duty, really wasn't all that hyped for Dragon Age Inquisition, really wasn't all that crazy about Unity in general, not really. Far Cry 4, easily, like the only original game coming out the last fall that I really gave a shit about. And it lived up to the hype, and I'm all the happier for it. Right off the bat, this game looks amazing. I know it's redundant saying things look amazing in these games, but really, you have to see the art style of this game. You have to see the environment, the detail, the background, the skyboxes. They all are great. Like, it not exactly next gen, because it's still, cross gen, which is unfortunate, but the effort is there and the groundwork is there for like a truly superior next generation Far Cry experience that could come. Let me say this, Ubisoft, do not annualize Far Cry. I don't care how big of a success this is. Do not annualize Far Cry. Alright? Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. I don't want to see this fall into the same trap that Assassin's Creed did. Okay? Stop that. Don't release so many games within 1 year. And part of my problem, I'm going to, rant about Ubisoft more in the future, but you know what? Let's focus on Far Cry 4. Great music. That's another thing. Cliff Martinez, who did the score for some of my favorite movies, like Drive and Only God Forgives. He did the really amazing scores like Contagion. He does the score here, and surprise, surprise, it's great. It's one of the year's best scores. It captures the feel of like the Himalayan vibe, where you feel like you're in this really exotic foreign land. Such great atmospheric music. Characters of the game, Ajay Ghale, he's really not all that interesting because he doesn't talk much during the game. The Golden Path people, they're it's interesting seeing their side, even though I didn't really like them all that much. But the highlight of this game, as far as characters go, is Pagan Min. He's so charming, he's so funny, and I actually liked him. I truly liked him. Maybe I'm a fucking psychopath, but I like this guy when everyone else in the game are these like manipulative asshole two-faced shitheads. He at least knows what he is. He knows that he's a psychopath. He knows that what he's doing. He has a goal that he's working towards achieving, and he has a passion about it, which I really appreciate from this character. I wish there was an option in this game, or some kind of DLC in the future, where you could actually play as Pagan Min's right-hand man, and fuck shit up, kill the Golden Path, fuck those guys, take over all of Kyrat, fuck them. Those radio towers, boost up their power, get it pumping, let's do this. Speaking of radio towers, I will admit that this is basically Far Cry 3 with some improvements in there. It basically is. The groundwork is Far Cry 3, but improved like a variety of different stuff. My biggest fear, though, is that they're gonna annualize this formula. However, it works here because I felt like they actually improved. They improved the gunplay. They improved the melee combat. They improved the stealth mechanics. They improved the navigation system. The way you move around in the environment, I still feel like is a total blast. I love the whole idea of like using the elephants as weapons, because these things are awesome. You can jump, like all the hype about the elephants being like a huge part of the game was completely warranted. These pachyderms are fucking awesome. I loved getting on top of one of these things with my big ass machine gun, riding into an enemy camp and just blowing everybody away, knocking shit over, flying enemies like left and right. It was a fucking blast to play this game. It was so much fun. And that's another part of this game I love, the co-op. And while I wish I wish they would patch in later where you could have more people in a co-op session, like maybe up to 4 players, playing this game with somebody, is fun, and they actually fleshed out the co-op mechanics to where it doesn't feel half-assed. It doesn't feel like they just slapped it on as like something to put on the box on the back. Like, oh, you can do co-op. No, they actually fleshed it out to where whenever you're using like the gyrocopter, this is just one example. Whenever you're using the gyrocopter, there's multiple different things you can do. You can jump on the back like you normally would. You can stand on top of the propeller like you weirdly shouldn't. And you can even grapple onto the gyrocopter. They can fly up into the air, and you would still be hanging onto it with your grapple gun while shooting at enemy encampment down below. How fucking awesome is that? That took a lot of time to put that little stuff in there, but it was all for the best. And it's so weird that this is coming from Ubisoft, one of the worst companies of the year, ended up making one of the best, probably the worst, like, most anti-consumer bullshit that they pulled this year, and yet they made this great game. Unbelievable. How did this development cycle create such a terrific experience and fucked up all the rest? I rant, cut off. I'll save that for a different video. Sorry. Nope, not gonna do it. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna talk about happy things in this game. And Far Cry 4 makes me happy. I love this game. I think this is such a fun experience. And if you are getting a PS4, if you got a PS4 this holiday season and you didn't pick up this game, you need to go to your local store right now and change that, because this game kicks ass. It is so much fun. Find someone else who has this game. Play co-op with them. Ride in the battle on elephants. It's so much fun. I cannot stress how fun this game is. Unbelievable. It's totally awesome. Don't annualize it! And finally, number 1 is The Walking Dead Season 2. Easily the best game of 2014 in my mind. That doesn't include remakes and remasters and collections and all that. But this game is like the only original masterpiece that I can think of this year. I love this game to death. I love it. I like it a lot. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this game. I think this is the game that really shows the power of interactive storytelling and the power of putting yourself in a character's shoes and making you feel like you are just helpless. And you know how I said that The Walking Dead, like, you know how I said past video games, I've used the word fun a lot on this list. And I absolutely mean it. I think a lot of these games are fun as hell. This game is not, and that's a really odd thing to say, but this game is stressful, it's exhausting, it makes you feel helpless and minuscule, whereas it contrasts with so many games that make you feel like a total badass motherfucker. This game, and whenever a new episode was announced, I would be like, oh yes, thank God, but in the back of my mind, I'd also be going, oh fuck. What horrible things are they going to put me through this week? But that's the beauty of what Telltale does. It gets you so invested in its characters, particularly its leads, that it makes you be them, makes you feel like them. It makes you feel like you are in these horrible situations with them. And I love that kind of shit. I love that this company is willing to go to places that most game studios wouldn't even dare to go. I mean, I don't want to tell any spoilers or anything, but the final episode of this season, it gets you so invested in these characters, and you really like all of them, and then it just proceeds to just destroy every single thing about the past 4 episodes that you have grown to care about. I mean, it makes you feel helpless. Like I said, it makes you feel like you're this small little ant trapped between these 2 buildings that are just collapsing on top of each other. Just debris and horrible things are flying left and right. There's death everywhere. There's just horrible stuff going on, and you are powerless to stop it. You have to sit there and you have to take it. Because you are an ant and you mean nothing in the long run. That is the power of The Walking Dead. More specifically, this last episode. I mean, there are, like, great, amazing moments scattered throughout. Like I said in one of my videos regarding the first episode, Clementine, it doesn't even take one episode for Clementine to be put in these god-awful situations where she has to make horrible decisions left and right. And with a split-second decision, she has to fend for herself. She has to determine life and death at this point. And it's not even it's the first episode. And we're already being put in these horrible situations. And I love it. I love that Telltale is willing to just be so fucking ballsy about how they're doing this. I love that they have the guts to put a child through this. Most games won't even like have children in their games because they're scared of what they might put them through. No, this game like takes the fear of what would happen to children and amplifies that to where a child is forced to grow up in this harsh, cruel world. And you actually see and what's great about this is that I've heard a lot of complaints about the character of Sarah. Okay, Sarah is whiny, Sarah's annoying. The thing about Sarah, the ultimate point about Sarah, is that there are some children in this world who can't grow up, who can't grow up this rapidly, who can't look after themselves once their parents are gone or their guardians are gone. They can't be on their own. And the sad thing about Sarah, like the way her story arc ends, is that it's futile. There's nothing you can do, even if it's momentarily to save her life for a moment longer. It's pointless in the end because she cannot do it herself. You cannot be there to help her all the time. Like there's a point that they make. It's like some people just can't go on. Some people just can't, and Sarah is one of them, and that's the contrast to Clementine. Clementine can go on. Clementine can make these horrible decisions, can do these horrible things to survive and to live in this cruel, cold world. And that's what I love about this game, is that they are not afraid to show just terrible imagery to things, horrible things that people can do to one another. It's just, God, I love this game so much, and I kind of hoping, I know they already announced a season 3, but I really wonder where it can go from here without any spoilers. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next, but with Telltale at the front, my confidence in it is exponential. They can do anything. I've said this over and over again, that these guys can do anything. They can do anything. Just give them any kind of property. And it seems to me that's what people are doing. I mean, Gearbox gave them Borderlands. HBO gave them Game of Thrones. And now Mojang is giving them Minecraft to do a story for. These guys can do anything. Give them anything, and they will make something worthwhile. Even the least like amazing thing that they've done. I mean, I really wasn't all that crazy about Tales from the Borderlands first episode, to be honest. But you know, that could grow into a really kick-ass franchise. You never know. I mean, and it's even when it's not great, it's worth playing. And for my money, in this day and age, when so many games, so many big budget AAA games disappoint one after another with so much bullshit, this is a game that comes out and affects you deeply. And the asking price for it is only $25. The best gaming experience of 2014 is only $25, and it's going to get even less now because of flash sales and of summer sales, winter sales, any kind of sales. And it might even be like free for one of the PlayStation 3 instant game collection stuff. You never know. This game is a bargain. I feel bad. I felt awful paying only $20 because I paid for the season pass. That's another thing. These guys, they are the only company I will ever spend a season pass on because I know they do quality work. I know what they do. I won't even buy season pass for stuff I know I'll enjoy, like Far Cry 4 or or Batman Arkham Knight. I'm just not going to do it. Or Bloodborne or whatever. Or I don't know. I'm just not going to do it. But Telltale is a company that I will gladly give whatever amount of money I can to support their vision. And if they keep making games like The Walking Dead Season 2, I will be there 110% to give them my full support. More than I ever have in the past. Because this game, they have made not one, but two amazing games this year. I cannot believe that 2 amazing games. Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead Season 2. Such incredible value. And if Game of Thrones is going the way it's going now, it will easily be in my top 3 of the year. Maybe my number 1 of next year. I never know. I never know what's going to happen in 2015, but I can count on Telltale to deliver the best goddamn products they possibly can. For my money. They are valuable to me. And anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Let me know your top 10 games of 2014. I want to know what you guys think. And for all the crap that's come out, the contrast, all the stinkers that have come out this year, don't worry, I am definitely going to be giving them my attention. Don't you worry, that video is coming out quickly. I'm gearing up for that. I'm gonna go to war. I fucking am going to rage like I've never raged before at some of these things. Because I think they are disgusting. Anyway, look for that video, the stinkers of 2014. Then I've also got the most anticipated games of 2015 coming up. You know me, I like to get I see all the films I want to see until I come out with my top 10 and bottom 10 films of each year. So I got a long ways to go as far as that is concerned. Don't expect that list until like around February or March even, with all the things I gotta watch and all the time I gotta use for other things. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good 2015, guys. Hope you guys had a great 2014. Hopefully this year will be even better. Will hopefully be a lot better as far as games is concerned. With already some cool stuff coming up in the next couple months. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a good one.